Tommy Fury and Jake Paul finally go at it tomorrow, and in this video I'll be telling you guys why I think Tommy Fury will beat Jake Paul. Let's get into it with Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva, and I believe that Jake Paul's number one weakness in his game is his balance and his willingness to overextend with every power punch he throws. So this clip was taken in 22 seconds of the fourth round, and Jake Paul already threw his right hand, and look how telegraphed his left hook is. And Anderson Silva already blocked the right hand. Jake Paul has the left hook locked up, and when he throws it, I know Anderson Silva moves out of the way, so it makes Jake Paul look even sillier. But man, look how out that left hook is. Look how wide it is, and look at the chin of Jake Paul. It's just up in the air. Let's go back to round one, and 2 minutes and 13 seconds into round one, Jake Paul has his jab ready. He shoots the jab, and he has his right hand like clocked up, just like he did have his left hand clocked up. And when he shoots the left hand, Anderson Silva moves out of the way. Look at that, chin in the air, right open. Anderson Silva moves up, he overextends, and Jake Paul loses his balance and falls on the ropes. You guys probably think this is a Jake Paul hate video, and I'm gonna get into the things that he did well in this fight. But so Jake Paul loves changing levels. He loves faking to the body and throwing to the head. And look how far away Jake's guard hand is. And if Anderson Silva threw an uppercut because that chin is wide open, I think it would have been night-night for Jake. And I'll get to this further on in the video, but Tommy Fury likes throwing uppercuts. Here at 1 minute and 28 seconds of the very first round, we see another moment of Jake Paul overextending, and Anderson Silva. If you watched the fight, Anderson Silva he didn't move his head that much. He didn't do any fancy head movement. He just slightly moved, and look how wide Jake Paul was. He lost his balance, and he just went through the ropes. And I'm not saying that Tommy Fury is a master boxer like his brother Tyson Fury, but I think Tommy Fury is skilled enough to see these mistakes and capitalize on them. And in this moment, it was 38 seconds of the first round. So Jake Paul, he loves pawing his jab. So in this moment, he was pawing his jab, keeping it in Anderson Silva's face. And Anderson Silva saw that Jake Paul had his right hand guard low. So Anderson Silva came back with his own left. And props to Jake Paul, he took this shot. But if someone was more power, like Tommy Fury, landed something like this, I think it would be damaging for Jake Paul, and he would be in trouble. So overall, what I'm trying to say from these negatives are that Jake Paul does overextend on a lot of his power punches, and he does lose his footing and loses his balance. For a boxer with this little experience, I think Jake Paul has good shot selection, but his execution is the problem. He overextends too much, and like I said, it makes him lose his balance and it ruins his execution of what he's trying to do. But Jake Paul does have some nice combos, and I'm going to get into what he does well right now. So here we see Jake Paul landing a jab to the body, and it was a good jab to the body. And here we see what I mean when I say that Jake Paul loves changing levels. So he goes low for a jab to the body, and then he comes high with the overhand right, bam, right on Anderson Silva's jaw. And that actually stunned Silva, and it made him take a back step. That was an amazing right hand by Jake Paul. This moment happened in the 8th round, and it was the best moment in the fight. And this is where I meant where Jake Paul has good shot selection, but his execution is the problem. And in this sequence, Jake Paul had beautiful execution. He didn't overextend because he didn't need to. So he has Anderson Silva turtled up, shelled up right here. He throws a jab. He had no intention of landing the jab. He fakes the jab, goes to the body, lands a hook to the body. Right away, other side, throws a right hook to the body after he threw the left hook. And then that brings Anderson Silva's hands down. And while Anderson Silva brings his hands down, Jake Paul measures up with a jab. He uses it as a measuring stick, and boom, he lands the right hand. This was a really hard right hand. Honestly, at this age of Anderson Silva's career, I'm surprised he took it. And I was surprised that Anderson Silva didn't get knocked out. And props to Silva, man. This just shows how much of a beast he is. And I do give Jake Paul full credit for beating Anderson Silva, even though Anderson Silva is old. Like I said, this is Jake Paul's favorite thing to do. He changes levels. A lot of his shots, he goes to the body and sets them up. He fakes to the body, or he throws a jab to the body. That's Jake Paul's favorite combo. That's how we love starting all of his combos. That's his favorite transition to a combo. And that this could get Jake Paul into some trouble because, like I said, sometimes when he's doing this, he's off balance, overextended, or his chin is wide in the air, and Tommy Fury could land an uppercut in between or a right hand as Jake Paul's coming upstairs. So yeah, it does get repetitive, but Jake Paul, once he executes it right, like I showed you with the knockdown blow, it's a very deadly combo, and it could cause Tommy Fury a lot of trouble. Now let's get into the reasons why I think Tommy Fury will beat Jake Paul by examining Tommy Fury. So I'm going to be talking about 3 of Tommy Fury's fights: his most recent fight with Daniel Baldwinski, his fight with Anthony Taylor, and his fight with Jordan Grant. Let's get into the fight with Daniel Baldwinski. So Tommy Fury won this fight by knockout, and this is what I mean when I said Tommy Fury has better shot selection and I think better IQ than Jake Paul. So Daniel Baldwinski throws a looping overhand wide, and look how clean this right hand by Tommy Fury is. Boom, right on the jaw. And this one stumbles Daniel Baldwinski back. And if Jake Paul is caught overextending like this with Tommy Fury and getting caught, I don't think Tommy Fury is just gonna one-shot KO Jake Paul, but the damage is gonna add up, and Tommy Fury does got some sting to his punches. We move on to another moment. Look, Daniel Baldwinski, he's going looping with his left hook, and look how Tommy Fury catches him with his jab. This is a stinger jab, snaps the head right back. And honestly, if Tommy Fury wanted, I think he could beat Jake Paul with just a jab and drag a decision through all 8 rounds. But I question the IQ of Tommy Fury sometimes. I'm not saying he has terrible IQ, but sometimes he does make some odd decisions. When he should be jabbing, sometimes he's blasting hooks, and it doesn't really make sense. So now let's move on to Anthony Taylor versus Tommy Fury. And like I said, Jake Paul, he has pretty decent setups, but the execution is bad. Tommy Fury actually has pretty smart setups, and sometimes they miss, sometimes they land. But for the competition he's fighting, I think his setups are good. Obviously, he's not fighting high class levels, so that's why they might look good. But here, Tommy Fury throws the uppercut, and he has no intention of landing the uppercut. But while he throws the uppercut, Anthony Taylor comes back with a jab, and Tommy Fury lands a left hook. And it was a pretty good left hook because it sent Anthony Taylor to the ropes. And like his brother Tyson, Tommy Fury, he's very fast with these clean short combos that he lands, his clean short counters that he lands. And I think this would be a good advantage against Jake Paul when he is overextending and when he's off balance. Those are the 2 keywords that I keep repeating, because those are the 2 things that are the biggest flaw in Jake Paul's career. And I really think Tommy Fury, if he fights smart and if he's on his game and if he's trained for this fight, will expose those in Jake Paul's game. Here's another example of Tommy Fury having slick hands. So, and his fight with Jordan Grant, and if you guys haven't seen his fight with Jordan Grant, I advise you watch it, because that was Tommy Fury's toughest match yet. So right now Jordan Grant has changed levels like Jake Paul. It looks like he's going to go to the body, but he's going to throw overhand right, and while he throws the overhand right, Tommy Fury catches him right square on the forehead with a clean uppercut. And I'm just saying, man, Tommy Fury likes throwing uppercuts. Anderson Silva was catching Jake Paul with a lot of uppercuts, and just like Gordon Grant was doing, Jake Paul loves to load up on shots. So this moment in 1 minute and 7 seconds of the 3rd round was one of the cleanest things Tommy Fury has ever done. So Jordan Grant is rushing Tommy Fury like a bull against the rope, and while Jordan Grant is coming in, Tommy Fury takes a C-step out and hits him with a right hand as he's going against the ropes. It was such a clean counter. Like I said, if Tommy Fury is on his game and he has these same counters with Jake Paul, and I really think these will help him, man. I think they will do the damage to Jake Paul, as like I said a million times, as he overextends. There's only so much damage a man can take, and I don't think Jake Paul can take that much. So Tommy Fury isn't this great boxer. I'm not trying to say he's elite level or anything. I just think he's a few steps above Jake Paul, and I think with the experience he already has above Jake Paul, I think he can pull this victory out. So I have Tommy Fury winning by decision. I would have had a prediction of Tommy Fury by late finish, but then I realized this fight is 8 rounds and not 12 rounds, so I do believe this will go the distance, and if they don't rob Tommy Fury, or if it's not a draw, I do believe Tommy Fury will get the decision. And then again, I repeat, and then again, Tommy Fury is not without his flaws. When he's backed against the rope and he doesn't have his footwork, he doesn't even have good footwork, but he uses his bike to get away from a lot of punches. So when Tommy Fury is backed against the rope, he does get hit a lot. And if Jake Paul sets him up with a perfect right hand, Tommy Fury could get knocked out. I'm not saying Jake Paul can't do anything to Tommy Fury. I just think Tommy Fury is good enough to beat him. And yeah, that's the end of the prediction, and this is why I think Tommy Fury will beat Jake Paul. And sorry guys if I was stuttering in this video. I recorded this video very late. And yeah, that's it for me. And thank you guys for watching and have a great day.